Hi again everyone, Scott Pyre, Pop Cult fan here, and in this video, I just watched the season finale of Ahsoka, and now I am ready to do my full season review of this show, and I definitely think that this show got a lot better as it went on, definitely. If you ask me, I think fan service, when it's done right and it's used within the story of a project, it works. And with this show, no exception. I think a lot of the fan service that is used throughout the story of this season really worked because you have the Ahsoka Tano, right? And this is like 7 years after Return of the Jedi, and all of this prehistory of the prequels, the original trilogy, and the 2 TV shows of Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. There's a lot of, clever hidden Easter eggs and references to all of that, and I really liked it all, So there are going to be spoilers here. I'll give a spoiler warning. But in the finale, I really liked how they were able to make Thrawn feel like quite the threat with his huge army of troopers, and also him working with those Night Sisters. Lars Mikkelsen as Grand Admiral Thrawn. He voiced Thrawn on Star Wars Rebels, so it's sort of like he played the character on Rebels, and he's playing the character in live action as well. And I love his performance. Similar to what I said about the character of Jigsaw in the Saw movies. Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's a tactician, right? He's one of the smartest characters that you've ever seen in Star Wars before, and he uses his tactics to, have his plans organized. He uses his tactics, and, he's really smart, and it's really cool how he maneuvers around characters like Ahsoka to get, to be one step ahead. And it was really cool to see that in the finale. And there were some great action bits. There are some really amazing moments between Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra Bridger, which the actor that they cast to play Ezra Bridger, Iman Esfandi, is that his last name? I thought he did an amazing job as Ezra in live action. When he was first revealed, and then had that and then followed up with the next episode, I really liked the chemistry between him and Sabine. It really felt like what was done on Rebels done in live action, and it really, really worked. And also, we gotta talk about the villains here. Don't worry, I memorized their names this time. You have Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll, and he's easily one of my favorite villains in recent years in Star Wars. I really think that they did a much better job fleshing his character out, and showing more of a reason of why he's doing what he's doing, his goal of what he's trying to do. It's really fascinating. And also you have his apprentice, Shin Hati, and I think she's a pretty good villain too as well. Though she's sort of, she's not entirely bad, I don't think. We might see a bit of a redemption arc for her at some point in the future. And also you have Morgan Elsbeth. I finally memorized her last name. I really liked what they did with her character in the finale, because they finally, we already knew that she was a Night Sister earlier in the season, and when she was, with those other Night Sisters in this other galaxy, they sort of gave her a bit of an upgrade with this new sword imbued with magic, and there was a really amazing action sequence between her and Ahsoka. That was kind of like the big final battle of the season, because Morgan Elsbeth was sort of billed as like the main villain of the season in a way, even though there were all these other villains, and Thrawn was the villain behind the scenes. It was really cool what they did with her character in the finale, and although she was cut short, and probably won't be seen again. I thought she was great. I loved the actress that played the character. That was awesome. And also, another thing I really liked about the latter half of this season is that they were able to have Hayden Christensen appear at least once in each of these episodes in the latter half of the show. And I loved that they brought Hayden Christensen back and were able to show him as much as they did in the latter half of this season. And I love seeing Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker. I really do. And definitely his performance as Anakin, it's easily the best we've ever seen him ever since, I guess, I don't know, Revenge of the Sith. I think his performance here in this show definitely feels just so much better than what was done in the prequel trilogy, if you ask me. And I really liked what they did in that 4th episode when they were in the worlds between worlds. I thought all of that was really fascinating and really awesome to see in live action. Like, if you're a fan of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, there's like some awesome flashback scenes between Anakin and Ahsoka and you saw Anakin in that Clone Wars getup, the Clone Wars outfit that you always seen the character wear on the Clone Wars TV show, and that was just amazing to see. I would love to see a Clone Wars live action show. That'd be awesome with Hayden and Rosario Dawson. That'd be really cool. And also I think that when they're on this planet in this other galaxy, there's like this alien species that's like, it's hard to describe them. They have like turtle shells on their backs, but they have the way they look is a little bit weird, but they're aliens. So what they did with them was rather fascinating. They were like a very peaceful species of creatures, and I really liked that because that was how they revealed Ezra, because Ezra was living with these creatures for the many years that he's been in exile along with Thrawn, and I thought that was rather fascinating. And it was really cool when they introduced Ezra, because Ezra, he didn't have a lightsaber, but he trained himself in martial arts with the Force, and that led to some really great action moments when he was doing this sort of martial arts kind of style of combat with the Force. I thought that was really cool. And Sabine, I think her and Ahsoka, in the finale, her and Sabine and Ahsoka sort of still remained in that other galaxy, which definitely could lead into what they could do for a second season. And I do think a second season is in development, and there's something there. That's a way that they can show more of this new galaxy, because they're still there. Ahsoka and Sabine are still in that other galaxy, while Ezra sort of was able to be a stowaway on the ship when Thrawn and the Night Sisters left with that huge army in that starship. And that could lead to some more adventures with Ahsoka and Sabine in that other galaxy, and I cannot wait for that. And I believe the Skeleton Crew TV show with Jude Law, I believe that could also be taking place in that same galaxy, which might be a way for Ahsoka and Sabine to come back to the main galaxy if the Skeleton Crew show crosses over. Or if Ahsoka and Sabine cross over into that show and they are in that other galaxy along with the cast of the Skeleton Crew show, I think that'd be really interesting in a story way. And yeah, there's a lot they could do in that new galaxy. I can't wait to see more of it. They were mainly on that one planet throughout the latter half of this season, but I can't wait to see more of this new galaxy. It'd be really cool. And also, I think what they did with Ray Stevenson's character of Baylan Skoll, they sort of teased it at the end when he was going to this, I guess, sort of monument on the planet, and he was looking for this other kind of otherworldly power that will lead him to this goal that he has. They teased it. They didn't really do much else with that, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure they'll explore it more, either in the second season of Ahsoka or in the Thrawn movie that's in development. And I am curious where the story will continue in regards to Thrawn, either in Mandalorian season 4, that's always possible, the Skeleton Crew show, or the Ahsoka season 2. But I think that Thrawn movie might come out before a second season of this show. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, overall, I loved this season. I definitely think this is one of the better seasons of Star Wars live action television that we've gotten on Disney Plus. And the music by the composer Kevin Kiner, I thought he did an amazing job with the score. That was, yeah, like some of the score was really, really good. Definitely. And also the lightsaber battles that we've gotten throughout the entire season were all really great too. And I'm just really happy with what they were able to accomplish here with this show. I'm glad this show exists. I really am. A lot of amazing things about this show that were sort of fan servicey, but worked really well. And I can't be more than happy with this show. I mean, I don't have too many flaws other than the fact that I do think that sometimes there are certain shots that sort of go on for too long in the earlier episodes. And it's like, come on, just go, keep going. And there were times where like certain scenes were just stuck in this one spot, and it was just taking its time. I'm not sure why it did that, but maybe to, I guess, I don't know why they did that, but yeah, there was that. And also I guess it took a while. I mean, not for me, it didn't take a while for me at all, because of my knowledge of Rebels and Clone Wars and watching those shows. But for someone that's watching this show that doesn't know about Rebels and hasn't seen that, they might get a little lost, which is why this might not be a Star Wars show for everyone, mainly because of that. Because there might be people that are watching this show that have never seen Rebels or Clone Wars, and that might be tricky for some people to get into this, and which might make some people a little bit lost as they start watching this show. So yeah, overall, I love this season, and if I had to give this a grade, I definitely give it an A. That is my grade for this first season of Ahsoka, and there was a lot that this show did that definitely warrants a second season, definitely. And I can't wait for more. I can't wait to see more of Ahsoka Tano, either in she could probably appear, like I said, in the Skeleton Crew show, and then also as they're building up to that Thrawn movie, all these protagonists will I'm assuming team up in that Thrawn movie between Ahsoka, probably maybe not Boba Fett, maybe, and then also obviously Mando, Din Djarin, Grogu, all those characters teaming up to go up against Thrawn, along with the New Republic. And also, don't want to forget talking about Hera Syndulla as well, and her son Jason. Because it was interesting what they did, especially with that awesome cameo of C-3PO. I really liked that, because in that episode, I think it was the last week's episode, when Hera was being addressed by this council in the New Republic, and this one guy was just being a bit of a, you know the word, being a jerk and trying to sort of make Hera step down from being a general. And then C-3PO appears on behalf of Princess Leia, which made me think that Princess Leia was going to make an appearance in the finale. That didn't happen, but I liked the reference nonetheless, and C-3PO's cameo, which was funny because Hayden Christensen also had a cameo as Anakin in that same episode, because, you know, Anakin, 3PO have a history. It was really cool to have both of those characters cameo in the same episode. And yeah, in regards to the New Republic, you know, they're making them out to be not too different to the way the Empire operated back when they were still going. Like the New Republic, they're sort of billing them as being a sort of not smart, except for maybe you know, Mon Mothma, but and Princess Leia. But other than that, like the New Republic, they're sort of billing them as being sort of, I guess, blind, I guess, to an upcoming threat, which is obviously Grand Admiral Thrawn, and it'll be interesting how that plays out in the Thrawn movie that's in development. So yeah, lots of thoughts here about this show and what will happen going forward. I can't wait, and it's a lot. Definitely an amazing time to be a Star Wars fan, and yeah. All right, that should do it for this long video. I'll catch you all next time, and I'll see you all when the Force binds us all.